Okay, so I have a particular way I like to open the crate because that allows me to have the dog under control immediately and not just have them busting out of the crate really crazy and just already lost it, you know? So I'll try and get out of the way so you can see. Basically, actually I'm gonna go this way. So you want to be in a spot where if the dog was to come out, you would be able to block them with your body and close the door. So all I do is open the door very slowly. He's going to want to come out, and then I just close it. So you saw his nose kind of go toward the door. Basically, the more he waits, the more the door opens. And the more he tries to get through, then the more it would close. So I'm just going to close it like that. Then he gets the idea that he does have to wait until I give the okay. Free. All right, and simple as that. He took to that like really well. All right, so first thing we're going to do is teach Mufasa the tool. Calvin, place. Okay, good boy. All right, so first thing we're going to do is teach Mufasa the tool, the transitional leash, and basically just teach him how to sit quietly at my side, moving on to walking with me at my side, and then eventually we'll go on to the place cot, just teaching him how to relax on there. Because if you don't have a dog who's relaxed in a stationary position, you are not going to have a dog that's relaxed moving around. Oh, good boy. So I'll show you how I do that. Basically, dogs can react to this in a couple different ways: fight, flight, avoid, or accept. And we might have to go through all of those before we get to acceptance. So he may jump up, he may roll around, and that's just because he's not used to having something on his nose. Not unusual at all. Most dogs protest a little bit at first, and if you're just consistent with it, they really get it in just a couple days. So, like that. Make sure it's fitted properly. Okay. So all we're doing is just teaching him how to yield to the pressure. So it's a small amount of pressure, just getting him to either sit down or lay down. So whenever he is not fighting it, it's completely loose. So that's pretty good. Some dogs it takes a little longer. So it's just pressure on, pressure off. Just getting him to figure out how to turn off the pressure, because if he knows he can turn it off, why would he turn it on? By getting ahead of you and being crazy. He's so beautiful. And I don't want him to be leaning on me, even though he's super cute. No? Okay. Good. Give him a little help there. The snap is just to kind of get his head up and get him to look at me so I can use my body pressure to get him to sit a little bit more, and then I get out of his space, turning off the pressure. So, kind of looks like watching paint dry, but that's okay. Now, usually I teach dogs to walk on the left side because that's traditional. You have your dog on your left and your horse on your right. It doesn't really matter as long as you are the one deciding which side he's on. All right, so I'm just going to take 2 steps forward, and then same thing. Basically, from now on, your leg is the barrier he can't cross. So anywhere, he can be anywhere with like his head and his leg should be in line with your leg. And if his head goes in front of your foot, then he's too far ahead. And eventually you can learn to just feel it through the leash, but for now you can just look down kind of through the corner of your eye. Good. So if you saw what I did there, I turned my body to the side to be a little less pressure on with him. And I just kind of pulse the leash because then he doesn't have something to pull against. Because if I just like pull, he's just gonna go backwards and use all his strength. But if I'm pulsing, he doesn't have a good thing to pull against. That's good, he's figuring it out. And I will put pressure on for that little paw thing because that's a little bit of protest. And then he stops. So then no pressure. All right, so next phase of moving with me is moving a little more fluidly in a circle. Let's go. And I turn away from him because automatically then he's behind me. He can't be getting ahead of me if I turn to the right. So I do a little tug on the leash every time I'm about to turn, right before I make the turn. And if I feel some resistance, either I can do that kind of sideways tugging thing, or I can just stop, go back to step 1. So I think now we'll work on place before I totally lose his attention span. And all we do is just kind of walk onto it. And the reason I have it in the corner is so that he doesn't have as many options to walk away. So I'm just going to ask him to sit. And I'll take off the head halter portion. Whenever the head halter is not in your hands, the nose part should be off because it's very easy for a dog to learn that they can just get it off with their paw. So now this is a different form of pressure, just kind of using, just stick your head right there, just using your spatial pressure, using personal space to get your dog to understand, hey, settle down, be respectful. So what I'm trying to do is line up my toes to his nose and get him to back up a little bit. Good, just like that. So you don't even have to touch the dog. We're just teaching him this system right now. So basically I keep the pressure on. And he's turning his head away, which is actually a very respectful thing for a dog to do. He's kind of like, hey, I'm no threat. But that's not the response I'm looking for right now. I'm asking for a sit or a down. There we go. So I turn to the side, again, taking off my body pressure. So the reason we start this with place is because it's really easy for them to there's not many options for him to go. So if I walk straight into him, he's probably going to sit back because he doesn't want me to walk right over him. And then eventually you can use that kind of body language spatial correction just in other areas of the house too. Like say he jumps up on the counter, you get in between the dog, you just kind of walk right into them until they sit down, correction's over, conversation's done. And you know it will be successful if he stops doing whatever thing he's doing that he wasn't supposed to be doing. Okay. And then it's always nice to end the session with some conditioned relaxation, just some gentle massage. So with a new dog, I'll typically start like right under their chin. Most dogs really like that. See if he wants to be stroked on his chest. And I'm doing slow motions here, not like pet, 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 or like patting him, because I want him to be calm and have his muscles relax like a deep tissue massage. Another thing you can do is kind of get him to shift his weight from one paw to the other in a circular motion. So just pretty gentle. Oh, good. So that kind of relaxes his shoulders because he's going like that. And nope, he's got to sit down. Good. And I just go right back to the last step. I was successful because he was doing pretty well with this. Good. All right, buddy. Yeah. Oh, that's good.